And it's Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services Talking Business. We're in Long Island at the WCBS News Radio 880 Small Business Breakfast. And I have a chance to talk with one of the very high energy speakers today. That is Jaclyn Rutigliano of Hometown Flowers Collective. And took an interest in flowers into a new business. Jaclyn, great to see you. What was speaking at the WCBS event like for you today?
Thank you. Nice to meet you, Ken. It was wonderful. It was really a privilege to be on stage at such an early stage in our business with these really established entrepreneurs.
Well, very good. You had a background in public relations and marketing. Tell us a little bit about how you made that transition into an entrepreneurial business.
Sure. Well, it's in my blood. My parents own a florist here on Long Island that was founded by my grandparents. I've always had an entrepreneurial spirit, but I spent 13 years helping to launch and scale businesses, working right alongside entrepreneurs. I loved it. It was in my genes, but it was a really stressful job as well. So I sought refuge and actually used designing flowers as a form of stress relief to decompress.
Wow, and tell us a little bit about the company. You've got a very special niche that you fill in the flower industry, Hometown Flowers Collective. Tell us about it.
Sure, yeah. So Hometown Flower Co. is actually Long Island's first mobile and digital florist. We're committed to sourcing everything locally from local farmers, so we only work with whatever we can find in season from our local growers. We deliver end-to-end on the island. We have a subscription model or free delivery for one-off purchases, or we actually partner with businesses for workshops, pop-ups, events, and private design as well.
Very good. And you mentioned that when you were starting up, you couldn't afford a storefront, so you decided to go straight onto the internet, onto digital and mobile. How did you do that, and how did you find success online?
Absolutely. Well, we decided to launch with the brand that we wanted to be. So branding right from the start was important. Fake it till you make it. We purchased a 1976 Ford F100 pickup truck, which is a mobile billboard. Wherever we go, everyone recognizes Baby Blue. We made it kind of a social campaign for people to spot Baby Blue, and we rely heavily on digital marketing. That's how we drive our business.
Very good. And you talked about overcoming a real challenge. Preparing for an event in the middle of the night, your truck was stolen, and you told a very inspiring story about how people helped you out. Tell us about that.
Sure. It was not a great night. My husband and I were up until about 2 in the morning preparing for what would have been our first really busy weekend. We had our first workshop, which sold out. We had partnered with Suckatog Brewing Company on the island, and then we had a bridal shower in the afternoon, and we were doing a pop-up flower bar. So we had a lot of product that we had just picked up that morning from our farms and spent all night cleaning, prepping, doing the base. And I was really excited and proud that we had a packed weekend. And took a break, and our dog started going crazy, and we look out the window and we see our refrigerator truck that was housing the product at the moment being driven away. I could still see it singed in my memory and hear the truck squeaking, and it was a really scary moment. I had about 15 people showing up right there in 10:30 in the morning for a workshop that they had pre-purchased. I couldn't disappoint anyone. So we had actually reached out to our farmers starting at 5 a.m. and said, I'll take whatever you have. Whatever you have cut, whatever scraps you have, just get me something. And they all went out into the fields and actually cut for us that day.
And Jaclyn, you described how you differentiate your product and really support the price point of the product by being unique, using naturally grown, locally grown flower products, and that you're part of the slow flower movement. Tell us a little bit about the types of products, the flower types that you sell.
Sure. So the Slow Flower Movement was founded by a woman named Deborah Prinzing, and it's really a commitment to use only what you can find from your local growers in season at that moment. Long Island has incredible stuff that you wouldn't even think about. I can get poppies, hydrangeas, peonies, right now dahlias, so many dahlias. When people think about flowers on Long Island, they immediately default to sunflowers, which are beautiful. And the funny thing is, other people in the industry, they might turn their nose up to some of the flowers that we use, like zinnias, stuff that you might find locally. But once you start designing with them, you actually create something that looks so much more unique. And it's really important to our business that we communicate the stories about the farmers and the individual flowers that we're using, and we just form a connection to the product that they didn't have before.
Very good. And Jaclyn, tell us a little bit about how a customer could find out more about Hometown Flowers Is it Collective? Collective. Tell us about that.
You can go right to our website, Hometown Flower Co. You can purchase right there. We're a digital florist. We'll always text you to organize delivery. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can see where we're popping up, or flag us down if you see us at an event.
And one final question. I find a lot of small business owners are still struggling with making a presence online, with building engagement with customers, sometimes keeping online personal. And I always advise them use a lot of pictures of your products and delivery to customers. What have you found successful in building your presence online?
Partnerships. Everything we've done for the first 5 months has been through partnerships with other established businesses. We very humbly, before we reached out, had a long list of like-minded businesses and brands and just said, hey, this is what we're doing. We like you. We're small. We don't have anything to offer yet. But in 5 months, we surpassed 3,000 followers on Instagram, which sometimes takes businesses years to do. And it was all through partnerships and really, really, really good visual content.
Well, great advice, Jaclyn Rutigliano from Hometown Flowers Collective on Long Island. Great to see you, and great to hear your comments here at the WCBS 880 Business Breakfast.
Ken, thanks for having me. Thank you.
Our pleasure. This is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI Services, talking business on Long Island.